I'm minding my own business, and I'm thinking about bees.
That's good.
And what's I think?
Gonna do bees.
Get ready.
Arnold's bees are
Bees.
good. Bees are good. But we were talking about the corn and how they put insecticide now into the DNA of the corn. So the bees go pollinate the GMO corn and they feel woozy, like they're drunk, and they don't go back to the hive and they basically die because it poisons them. But the manufacturers say that even though we're poisoning the honeybees, which are not native to this continent anyway, that having this in there helps feed 6 billion extra people a year. And so it's a real trade-off, you know, the organic or do we halt world hunger by doing this? And
Talk about a little bit about bees.
well,
It's pretty interesting.
well, I'm glad.
Yeah, 'cause what did you say about bees?
Well, I'd say you were thinking about keeping bees, and I was talking about the tracheal mites, which are a thing that beset the bees, and how you can make, which I do, have done, Crisco with confectioner sugar and powdered sugar, and then Apistan on the inside, which is a pretty easy to get insecticide, and the bees will eat it because of the sugar, and it will coat the inside of their tiny bee throats with grease, and it will fool the tracheal mites into thinking that the young bees are old bees, and they'll stay away from them. Imagine figuring that out. You know, that's.
And what about the beehives that take it all around the country?
Well, oh, you mean the migratory beekeepers?
Yes.
Yes, it's a huge industry. It's a book called Follow the Bloom, if you want to do it. And what they'll do is they'll start in the winter in Florida or Southern California, depending on where, and they'll go north. And there, for instance, there would not be an almond crop without bees. Wouldn't exist.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
And so it boosts they'll start with the Florida oranges, the Georgia peaches,
Right.
and they'll go with a forklift and they'll lay the hives around at night. 'Cause
These migrant beekeepers
Yeah,
go all around the country.
all around the country.
This is 3 times their production.
Right, well, it increases the yield per acre by 300%.
300%.
Oh, it's huge.
Yield per acre.
Per acre.
Per acre.
Per acre.
300%.
300%. That's how we get our fruits and vegetables.
Wow.
Because we have the migratory beekeepers. And that's when you read sometimes, like in August, up in Rochester, you know, flatbed of bees spills over in town. It looks like something of a great bee horror movie. And it does. I mean, because then all the bees, and they gather them back and go on their merry way. But it's that's how it's
does the
done.
queen bee come about?
Say again?
How does the queen bee come about?
Well, the queen is made from the workers make the queen lives 5 years and the workers live 3 months in the winter, 6 weeks in the summer. And what they do is they'll feed all the queen ever eats is royal jelly. That's it. Which incidentally the Russians think increases mammalian life by 20%. Real royal jelly, not the stuff you get in the health food stores. It tastes
Increases
bad.
what, mammalian?
Mammalian, like a mammal. If you eat it, you won't get sick as much and you live 20% longer, according to the Russians.
Okay.
Is it true? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I take it sometimes when I remember to, which is like every 3
Right.
years. And but it gives you more energy and supposedly stops disease.
The queen bee lives five years?
Can live 5 years, yes. And
And how do they determine who the queen bee is?
well, the queen bee is larger than the normal bee. And if you look closely, you can see sometimes they'll paint a little orange on the queen bee, and they can see what it is to identify it more carefully. But the queen, like sometimes what you can do is when you make a new hive, when you split your hives to stop them from swarming in the spring, what you do is, what I do, and this is you take brood from an old one, because the workers will not leave brood. And so what you do is you trick them into staying. So you take them from the outside of the hive and you put them in. Sometimes you'll see a queen cell. It looks like a cotton candy peanut. And you throw the queen cell into the new hive. You've got a new hive. I've made 3 or 4 or 5 hives over the years doing that. I don't think you'll ever hear anybody else doing that. And but that being said, it works. And then if you ever catch a wild swarm, what you do is the wild swarm carries a lot of, you spray them with sugar syrup, you spray them down, you get them in, you take them back, you dump them on a plywood, they crawl into the hive. You either have a virgin queen or a bred queen, you don't know. So what you do is you get brood from another hive with no other workers, you stick it in there, they will not leave the brood. So the workers will stay. If you don't have the brood there, they might fly off and follow the queen to get bred and all your work went for nothing. So there's a lot to beekeeping.
A lot to be. You're blue. What do you think about Keith?
Wow, that just blew my mind. That's insane. That's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. In fact, without bees, this country's in trouble, right?
Well, that's what my friend said on the Facebook, where I put you underneath about not only should you eat organic, you should eat organic raw.
Yeah.
But nah, we'd be okay.
Be okay.
We'd be okay, yeah.
Why's that?
Because we got 1,500 other species that pollinate. The honeybee is not native to this continent.
No, it's not.
No,
It's not.
no. It came over with the
So you have 1,500 other types of bees.
of pollinators.
Of pollinators.
Yes. So
1,500.
we don't need the honeybee.
We don't need the honeybee.
But we'd be in deep trouble without them. I mean, as far as the cost of our fruits and vegetables, which are significantly lower because of the incredibly boost. I mean, Smithsonian has hypothesized the reason that we made it here was because of the earthworm and the honeybee. Is that true? I think the guy needs a real job. But that being said, you know, they think the earthworm made agriculture possible, and the honeybee definitely boosts the production. The Indian called the bee the white man's fly, meaning when they would know when they started getting stung, the white man, because the bees will go up to 10 miles and they'll come back. Yeah, that's why if anybody ever tells you they got organic honey, they're completely full of you know what. Because how can you control where a bee goes in 10 miles? You can't. Okay, so there's no such thing as organic honey.
How many beehives do you have?
This time I have none.
None.
No, because I have all the honey I'll ever need from when I was a beekeeper, like a lifetime supply of honey, and I sting myself with apitherapy.
There's another beehive. What's it called? Airflow or something like that?
I've heard of this, a new type, but I just have the traditional box.
But airflow, I don't think the bees ever leave the hive.
Well, then they don't get any honey.
Wow.
They have to leave the hive.
They have to leave the hive.
Unless you want to feed them, which you do anyway, to boost them with sugar syrup. But honey made out of sugar syrup's horrible.
Horrible.
You know, I mean, it's tasteless. It's no good,
Yeah.
and they don't have the nutrition that they need with all the pollens and the esters and the pulvers that they have. They go into honey, which makes raw honey.
Anyway, this is Randy.
Yeah.
I stopped in the middle of the
You
street.
should. Because, by the way, Arnold, the reason people think raw honey is so great because it confuses your body. If you eat it 7 miles from where you live, now you're digesting the things that used to irritate your allergies, and your body gets confused, and they think, I don't happen to believe it, but people think that raw honey helps the histamine reaction with allergies. I think it's bull, but people swear by it.
Everyone has an opinion. Everyone's
Yeah.
right. Anyway, live with Randy.
All righty.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
All right, Arnold, I should talk